Dr. Giulio Cavallo understood that. He understood that political power was not simply about elections, it was about organizations and leverage. And that's why a man who never held an elected office was once called the most powerful man in Westchester politics. The question is, when will Black America learn this lesson?
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine.
Peace and blessings, everybody. This is Damon K. Jones. Welcome to the Publisher's Desk, powered by Black Westchester Magazine and blackwestchester.com. And if you haven't started following us, most of our watchers are not subscribed or followed to the channel. Please subscribe. Help us with the algorithm. We're having great conversations, about political power, about faith, about economics, anything that affects Black America. So please follow, man. Help us with the algorithm. So tonight, I want to have a conversation about, this is going to be a different conversation, brothers and sisters, because it's really not about Republicans or Democrats. It's not about Trump or Biden. It's not about the latest political controversy. Tonight, we're trying to have a conversation about power, real power, not the power that you see on television, not the power politicians talk about during election season, but the power that determines who gets heard, who gets ignored, who gets resources, and who gets results. And to understand that power, I want to introduce to many of the watchers to a man you probably never heard of before. His name is Dr. Giulio Cavallo. And I'm making this video on the 6th-year anniversary of his death, because he was one of my mentors. He was, the gatekeepers wouldn't teach me anything about political power, so he taught me. And in his time when he was alive in New York political circles, Dr. Cavallo was legendary. Westchester Magazine, not Black Westchester, Westchester Magazine, the white one, as I always say, once named him the most powerful man in politics. Think about that. Not just the most powerful Democrat, not just the most powerful Republican, the most powerful man in politics itself. In Westchester County, one of the richest counties in the United States. Cavallo never held an elective office. He wasn't a congressman. He was never a state senator. He wasn't mayor. He wasn't county executive. He was just the chairman of the Independence Party in Westchester County. Why? Because he understood something that most Americans never learned, and Black America has never been taught. Political power is not about titles or speeches. Political power is not about who gets the most media attention. Political power is about leverage. For years, Black America has been taught to see politics through personalities. Democrats versus Republicans, left versus right, liberal versus conservative, Trump versus Biden, Trump versus Kamala. But the beautiful thing about the wisdom of Dr. Cavallo and what he taught me, that politics is bigger than personalities. Politics is about systems, brothers and sisters. Politics is about institutions. Politics is about organization. Politics is about leverage. And most importantly, politics is about understanding how power actually works. Now, what you're about to watch is 2 conversations with Dr. Giulio Cavallo years ago. Now, as you listen, don't listen to as a Democrat. Don't listen to as a Republican. Don't listen emotionally. Listen as a student of power. Listen carefully to what he says about political parties. Listen carefully to what he says about leverage. Listen carefully what he says about elections. listen carefully to what he says about who really controls the political system. Because if Black America ever wants political power, we first must understand how power works.
I don't know the Independence Party. Before we get started, Doc is the only party chair that has shown up to press conferences on police brutality.
All right,
He's the only party
All right,
chair.
Doc.
He's the only. That's a round of applause to support.
Thank you.
Police oversight. Okay, well, I just wanted to get that in. That's a jab at Reggie Lafayette because he never showed up. But, Doc, can you show us?
Well, Reggie was busy. He had to go to Molino's restaurant that day.
Let people know what the Independence Party is about, Doc.
Well, basically, this party was called the Fusion Party, and it all began with Ross Perot when I got involved. And the first meeting that we had was in 1989-90 with some of Ross Perot's people. And Mayor Giuliani was one of our participants and other people. And it became they called it the Fusion Party. People are dissatisfied with the Democrats and the Republican, conservative, what have you. They have a third party choice.
Right.
And basically we are a progressive party.
Okay. Okay. Great. Now, a lot of people.
And by the way, and we called it the Independence Party. And people say, well, they think it's the Independent Party. That's why we have 500,000 people registered in the state of New York.
Right.
They
try to discredit your membership, saying that they checked off by mistake.
By mistake, right? And in fact, I did a mailing once. At that time, we had 18,000 people registering just in Westchester County. And I sent a little card saying, listen, we are called the Independence Party. We are the third largest party in the state of New York. It's not the Independent Party. If you want to be disenrolled from it, we even sent them a little sample sheet to send to the Board of Election and to cross off the independence and put whatever they want it to be.
And one of the things that's sort of interesting about the third parties is that every 4 years during a gubernatorial election, the parties that get the most number of votes you get row A, row B, row C, row D, row E. So there's a number of political parties running. You have the Democrats, the Republicans, the Working Families, Independents, the Conservative, the Women's Equality.
Jesus.
And everybody is competing to get more votes than the other, because if say the Independents gets
Less than 50,000, you're not a party anymore.
Right.
Right. Okay.
And then you have 4 years to become another political party. But
That's right. Actually, when we started, we have accomplished more in the last 16, 17 years that the Conservative Party has accomplished in the last 40, 50 years. The only thing we haven't accomplished is that we don't get jobs from the political party.
Well, that's what you will have been.
In other words, if you go to Westchester County, that's right, Damon. If you go to Westchester County, 90% of the third party people are conservatives, and they have jobs galore. But going back to what
the county executives, mothers,
boyfriend.
Oh well, that's another story. Yeah.
even a member of the Independent
I don't
Party.
like to get into sexual things. I'm not into that stuff. But the point is that Paul Feiner, the supervisor, is right. When we first started with the Independence Party, we had over 250,000 that we got on the line. Then then other people realized what we were doing. In fact, there was also a friend of mine a couple of years ago that he wanted to start the Tax Enough Already party,
Right.
and he actually screwed up because when he was doing the petition, he never put the lieutenant governor. But we could have won that in court. They didn't want to do it. So now everybody's learning that. So you have the gubernatorial people right now. They're doing the same thing. They started, what did they start? The
Women's Equality.
Women's Equality Party.
Oh, so they actually starting. They doing a party on that.
That's right. In fact,
Wow, I didn't know that.
They're on the ballot. You see, they got enough signatures to be on the ballot, and it's a little strange system the way it works.
I think that the goal is for the Women's Equality Party to take votes away from working families and independents? Wouldn't you think that's
yeah.
an indirect
It could be a possibility. I think it's going to take away.
Are these women single?
Well,
Please
well-
choose a sponsored video. Your content will begin shortly.
What are you doing over there, man?
Checking the screen.
do we continue?
Yes, please.
I apologize.
Yeah,
that was me playing or checking the technology.
First of all, I like to say I saw the first commercial yesterday,
Oh.
and Cuomo did an excellent job. I mean, he had his 3 daughters and his former future wife, I presume, and it was very well done in a nice, tasteful way. You know, I mean, I believe as a third party chairman of a party.
Sponsored video. Your content will
AJ,
begin
hold
shortly.
Are you all right over there, bro?
The system is acting up, yo. It's not me. Go ahead.
Okay.
Well,
all right, go ahead.
we started talking about women equality. Everybody got excited.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
But I believe, like in Europe, and I think Paul might be with me on this, that the more party that we have in the state or in the country, we have to stop this Democrat-Republican type of thing. You know, we should have the Independence Party, we should have the Quaker Party, the AOC Party, whatever party, because it gets everybody involved in politics, and that's the problem that we have. People not getting involved. The young people not getting involved.
No, they're not.
It's always the same old people that are involved. You see Mount Vernon, it's the same leadership for the last 40 years.
Yes.
Right.
You know, the Republicans in Westchester County, you know, it's all, I shouldn't say gray hair, above 50 type of people, but that's what we're having.
Right.
The Democrats, they're disorganized. They don't know what's going on, if they're coming left or right. So, but we need people to participate in politics.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't like to call myself a politician because I'm not a politician. I'm a civic-minded person. You know, if I see that there's injustice somewhere, we should be involved as a political party to make it right for the people.
Right. And that's and that so all this that you hear, you know, when you read the Post and you read the Daily News about the Independence Party, and they were really downing Cuomo for taking the endorsement. You know, he caught a lot of heat from the press.
First of all, I don't read the Post, although it's a very good paper, I guess, and I don't read the Daily News, which is okay also, and definitely I don't read the Journal News, you know, because I like to go home, relax, have a martini, and then I have people that call me and says, "Hey, did you see you were on the paper?" I says, "Oh my God, I don't want to be on any paper," but what they're saying. What was your question, Damon? That
Because Cuomo the Governor Cuomo got a lot of heat when he took the endorsement.
Okay. First of all, people come before us on an interview basis, and you have been participating in some of my interview. In fact, I think from now on, every time we do interview candidates, you should be even if you're not a member of the Independence Party, you should sit with us and see how we do it correctly. I mean, last year we interviewed over 300 and something people for endorsement. It's not like the Republican Party that the chairman picks one guy and, you know, and that's the end of that. And Reggie, you know, we know Reggie, what he does. Right. So, you know, we actually have a system that we interview. Now, we endorsed Cuomo 4 years ago. He got about, I'm not too sure, maybe because I know Paul reads all the papers, I think he got 156,000 votes on the Independence Party. 156, and the working family, I think he got like a few thousand more than us, about 158, 160,000. Now, how do we explain to the executive members when Governor Cuomo came before us to be endorsed again? And I mean, we're not going to endorse you because you did this, and that. Well, I think Cuomo has been doing an excellent job, to be honest. And it's very rare that we don't re-endorse a person, you know, from the years before. And we usually do that, unless they do something ridiculous. Like I had a good person that I knew. He got caught sniffing cocaine, And he says to me, well, you didn't endorse me. Well, how the hell could I endorse you? You got caught up in Vermont sniffing cocaine. The cops caught you. You weren't
I know you
well, I don't want to.
talking
I don't want to mention his name. And I said, what are you, some kind of an idiot? And, you know. And then, of course, a few years passed by, and we did endorse him because he's doing a good job.
Right,
But
right.
at that particular moment,
Right.
you know. Now, first of all, I don't even like to endorse people because I believe in term limits. We're
Yeah, it should
creating.
be, yeah.
We're creating political business politician. I mean, you'll have
Hey, wait
a
a
state
minute.
senator for 30
Paul's
years.
been around for 20 years now.
Well, guess what? He's doing a great job, though. You know, I mean, this is a guy that everybody says, yeah, I know Paul Fine. I saw him with his bicycle, and he's up here, down here. I mean, the guy's doing an excellent job. But I think Paul agrees with me. Local level is a whole different thing.
Well,
you know,
you're
if you're a supervisor, you know, but once you become the mayor of a city,
Right.
and once you're an assemblyman and a state senator, come on, give other people a chance.
Yeah, 25 years, yeah.
I mean, you
yeah.
can. I mean, you have state senator. I know state senator, 42 years in the Senate.
Yeah, they die and then.
I mean, they got Alzheimer's. I'm talking to them. They're talking about it. He had constipation the other night. I'm saying to myself, this is ridiculous.
Most people heard a conversation about the Independence Party. I heard a lesson about power. One of the biggest mistakes Black America has made politically is confusing voting with power. Voting is about participation. Power is about leverage, brothers and sisters. See, because they're not the same thing. The Independence Party in Westchester County and New York wasn't powerful because it was the biggest party. It was powerful because politicians needed it to win. Republicans needed it to win. Democrats needed it to win. Right? It could influence an election. It could move votes. It could affect outcomes. That's the leverage that Black America don't have, and Black America has refused to use. Leverage. And leverage is the language politicians understand. Think about that. A politician appreciates your vote, but a politician always fears losing your vote. That's why D.L. Hughley, Roland Martin, and all these crazy fools are out here trying to jump on the FBA's stance on reparations. They don't want to lose votes. For decades, Black America has confused those two things. If politicians already know where your vote is going, why should they negotiate with you? Why should they compete for your vote? Why should they even deliver anything? That's why Black communities look the way they do. Politics is transactional. Every successful political organization understands that, except Black people. Dr. Cavallo understood that. That's why Democrats and Republicans both paid attention to him. Now, let me take it a step further. One of the greatest failures of Black politics is that we have confused access with power. We celebrate it when politicians show up to our churches. We celebrate politicians that attend our events. We celebrate politicians and we take pictures and we're over Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. But access to them in a few photo ops is not power. Influence is power. Leverage is power. What influence do we have over the politician? What leverage do we have over the politicians? See, results are power. When we see legislation that's wrote specifically for Black America, when we see legislation that's wrote specifically to deal with our failing schools and crime and violence, specifically. See, a seat at the table is not power. When we build a table, have them sit down and we tell them what they have to do for our vote, that's power. See, for decades, Black America has been told that voting is power. Voting is just a tool of power, brothers and sisters. Power is what happens after elections. Huh? Power is when politicians fail to come through for your community because they know they won't get your support. But you keep voting for them. Power is feeling losing your vote. But you keep voting for them. You keep thinking that doing the same thing is going to have different results. They know you're insane because they do nothing for you and you still vote them in office. We don't have leverage, brothers and sisters. Now, this brings us to the second conversation with Dr. Cavallo. Check it out. See, but here's where most of the voters stop paying attention. And this is where real political education begins. Dr. Cavallo wasn't talking about candidates. He was talking about campaign slogans. No, Dr. Cavallo wasn't talking about candidates. He wasn't talking about campaign slogans. He was talking about the machinery, the structure, the institution, the system. Most Americans know the president. Most Americans know the governor. But how many know the board of elections? How many know who controls the party endorsement?
You know, we have Congress people running. You go to Mount Vernon and you say, who's your congressman? You know, they don't know it's Elliot Engel. They never heard of this guy in their life. Where's his office? I want to meet with him. And then they tell me that he lives in D.C. all the time. He's not even in his district office.
Wait a minute. He doesn't even live up here?
Well, he lives in the Bronx somewhere. But
he stays in the house.
His kids and his
everybody's
wife,
in D.C.?
They all went to school in
Get
D.C.
out of
They're all
here.
in D.C. All of them do that. Almost all of them.
Get out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. So how are you going to have a report with your community
So
when
these
your
are
kids
not
are
for the
going
people.
to
Wow.
they're going to the D.C. special schools for people who are elected and etc. I'm only mentioning Engel, but there's
Right.
other people like
Right.
that. I mean, all over the
But
state.
it's
Did you know if you get elected in Congress and you only serve 2 years, right? It's every 2 years.
Right.
Do you know that they get their pension for life and their health insurance for life?
Just 2 years?
And their kids could go to school without paying anything.
Really?
Yes,
Wait,
that's
say it again.
yeah.
Say that.
If you get elected
If you
in
get elected,
Congress,
let me type that in there.
if
for
you get
everybody.
elected in Congress
Okay.
and you only serve 2 years, you get all the benefits of a pension and health benefits for the rest of your life.
Just 2 years.
Only 2 years. It's not like you worked there 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. Only 2 years. That's all you need.
Yo, that's crazy.
And if you're a convicted felon and you run for Congress, you can still be elected because there's no law that says that you cannot be elected in congressman if you're a convicted felon.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But you could run, but you can't vote for yourself in some states?
Well, that's it. He can't vote for himself. That tells you how absurd everything is.
That's crazy. Oh, man.
So
This is why I constantly say all politics is local. Don't allow these Negroes to take you out into the Trump stratosphere. Focus on your local elections. Focus on why you have high taxes. Trump ain't got nothing to do with your taxes. This is foolery. This is complete foolery. Many of you watching don't even know your district leader. Don't even know who they are. And this is the person that selects who runs for mayor, who runs for your city council, who runs if you have an elected sheriff, who runs for your sheriff. These district leaders are the people who elect them, who vote for them, to nominate them to run in the elections. And I bet many of you don't even know who your district leader is. And they're making decisions for you. You got the nerve to worry about Trump and you don't even know who your district leader is? Come on, man. We're being bamboozled. We're being bamboozled. My mentor, Dr. Cavallo, spent decades studying this. And this is why I'm trying to tell y'all, brothers and sisters, I'm trying to give it to Black America. This is why he became the most influential political figure in New York. Not because he had a title, but because he understood the system. And that's why Black America must learn. The lesson Cavallo taught me was not become a Democrat. The lesson was not become a Republican. The lesson wasn't even join a third party. The lesson was understand power, understand leverage, understand the institutions, understand being organized, understand the systems. For too long, Black America has focused on personalities instead of the institutions and the systems. We celebrate candidates. Other groups build organizations. We celebrate elections while other groups build leverage. We celebrate symbolism. First Black this and the first Black that. And none of that has equaled to power.
Government. So imagine I'm a small party. Now, could you imagine a major party like the Democrats or the Republicans? So I think that, there should be some laws that say that you cannot be a commissioner of election and also a party leader.
Right.
I mean, that's a
Right.
major, I don't know. What do you think, Priscilla? It's an ethical, it doesn't even look right. Even
Right.
if you're not in politics, you say, wait a minute, the guy's a commissioner and he's also the chairman. I mean, what's going on,
Right. And I know one of the legislators are talking about trying to push a bill in the county legislature so they could separate that. And I think
well, I don't know about that because the majority of your friends, Damon, who are legislators,
Right.
they voted a couple years ago to get, instead of 2-year appointment for commissioner of election, they made it 4 years now.
Really?
So yes, so now at least 2 years. You say the guy, he's a bum. He's not doing a good job. He
Right.
can't be. But now they have 4 years. So by the time you get these guys out, by the time you pass a law, they'll be there another 4 and another 4. And like our friend Reggie Lafayette would say, I'm going to retire pretty soon.
Right. Now, who appoints the commissioners who appoints the commissioners?
Well, there is no law, but if you are the party leader, you recommend to the county executive, because it's funded by the county executive office,
Right.
The legislatures actually.
Right.
You recommend that a certain person should be the commissioner. Now, for example, I'm the party leader,
Right.
and you're one of my guys, Damon
Right.
Jones, and I say, well, listen, I want Damon Jones to be the commissioner of election because he's in my party. He's going to look for the interest of my party. That's fine.
Right.
But I don't say, well, I'm going to appoint myself, so I'm going to look at the interest of myself.
Right.
That's what these guys are doing.
Right.
And they've been doing this for years.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
Nobody's pausing them at all.
well,
Nobody's
Reggie's
saying
been in for
anything.
what? How long?
Well, listen, I've been in politics as a leader for 16 years. He was already the chair. I would say he's probably 24, 25 years.
So he's getting a good pension.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be.
He's getting a good pension.
His nickname now is Reggie Molino. There used to be a restaurant, Reggie Morelli. Now it's Reggie Molino because he's there, having lunch and dinners every day. That's his job. Him and the other Republican leader there.
Well, and for the record, we did reach out to Reggie, and we invited him numerous times to come on the show to talk about the Democratic Party, to talk about his role. He did schedule one Sunday, and he stood us up. So he has it. He still is an open door policy. He could come on and he could discuss anything he wants to, anything that we're saying he can address. But we're just going to call it like we see it. And he's still welcome to come on the show. So for people that's listening, think that we're bashing him.
No.
We just want to make it clear that he had his opportunity, and he did not come on. And we continue to call him to set up a date for him to come on the show, so he could explain to himself why 2 terms that the Democrats lost, but the Democrats want to brag that they outnumber 2-1. That they outnumber 2-1. And we want him to explain himself, because the Democratic Party for black people has usually been the party. I mean, that's what they say. Black people vote Democrat. But when you don't see your party actually addressing the issues in the communities of color, then we got to question our loyalty to the party. We definitely have to question it. There's good Democrats. You know,
Yes.
they are good Democrats, but if you're not going to address the issues as a party itself, if you're not going to be out front, if we can't get help in registering people to vote and going out here and getting young people to take a part of the democratic process, then you know what the hell is being in the party for? You know, well, what the hell is being in the party for? Because I think the more people that will get involved in this process, you know, we can make a change. You know, whether it's Republican or Democrat. You know.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We're not really bashing Reggie. I personally like him. I think he's a nice fellow.
Me too.
I should also mention he's a very debonair fellow. He's the hottest black, dressed commissioner in the state of New York. But you know, there's also the Republicans the same way. You know, they're doing the same thing, and they're doing it in New York County. They're doing it in Rockland County. They're doing it in every majority of the counties in the state of New York. So we're not bashing Reggie at all. We're just saying that the system is not fair.
No, it's
that
not.
If you're a leader, you should just recommend who you want him to look after the interest of that party. That's the whole basis of having a board of election.
Right.
But you can't serve yourself as watching yourself like they're doing if you're a party leader and also one of the commissioners in the administrations.
And then we wonder why our results are the way they are and our communities look like the way they do. The answer is simple. We have to put together some institutions. We have to create leverage and influence. See, and influence creates power. We have to be not scared to vote somebody out or not vote for somebody. Huh? We don't hear well, if you vote for that one, then you're just letting Republicans win. That's BS. Not if you ain't addressing my interests. What's the old saying? I gotta repeat it every day. I gotta repeat that every show. There's no permanent friends. There's no permanent enemies. There's only permanent interests. And when Black America understands that, when we finally understand that, and we stand on our interests and understand that today, that might be your friend. Next election, that same person, your friend, might be your enemy. But always stand on your interests. And you know, brothers and sisters, I always have to close with scripture. And today we're going to close out with Proverbs 24:5. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength. Dr. Cavallo taught me something that I will never forget. Power is not who you vote for. Power is whether your politicians need your vote. Power is not having a seat at the table. Power is building your own table. Power is not cheering for a candidate. Power is building an institution that has leverage over the candidate. Until Black America learns the difference between participation and power, we will continue participating in politics while other ethnic groups continue to control politics. Solomon wrote, "A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increases strength." Think about that, brothers and sisters. He did not say a rich man. He did not say a politician is strong or a king is strong. He said a man of knowledge increases strength. Tonight wasn't about Republicans or Democrats or left or right. It was about knowledge, because knowledge creates understanding. Understanding creates leverage, and leverage creates influence, and influence creates the power that Black America needs to stand up for itself. My mentor and friend, Dr. Giulio Cavallo, understood that. He understood that political power was not simply about elections, it was about organizations and leverage. And that's why a man who never held an elected office was once called the most powerful man in Westchester politics. The question is, when will Black America learn this lesson and we control our politics on the local level and then the state level, and then we can influence which way the national level will go, but with interest for Black America, and not allowing these fools to talk for us anymore? When will we learn that lesson? And if you enjoyed this conversation, brothers and sisters, please like and share, leave a comment, whether it's good or bad. I love the conversation. Allow us to move YouTube algorithm for conversation of empowerment and purpose. And please go to blackwestchester.com, Black Westchester Magazine. It's the news with the Black point of view. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay Blacktastic. Peace out.
Black America, political loyalty without results is not power. Sign up and get your free ebook by Damon K. Jones. A seat at the table is not power. Building the table is. This book exposes how political dependence weakened our communities and lays out a blueprint for Black economic, political, and institutional sovereignty. If you're ready to move from symbolism to ownership, this is for you. Download it free today. Follow Damon K. Jones on YouTube and stay connected to empowering conversations that challenge the mind, strengthen the spirit, and uplift the community. Subscribe to Black Westchester YouTube and at Damon Jones on YouTube for powerful content on life, culture, community, faith, politics, health, and truth that makes you think for yourself. If you're serious about political clarity and independent thinking, this is for you. The Political Thought Bundle includes 3 full books, all personally singling. Democrats and Republicans, the Ultimate Gangbangers, breaks down how the two-party system operates like a legalized street war for power. Emotional Politics, Logical Failure exposes how emotion has replaced strategy in Black political engagement. Tolerance is for Coward lays out a blueprint for extended policing and community-led public safety rooted in outcomes rather than slogans. 3 signed books. One bundle $60. That's a $75 value, and you're getting signed copies included. This isn't left versus right. It's results versus rhetoric. Go to twosteppublishing.com and secure your signed Political Thought Bundle today. It's going to be Blacktastic. For more than a century, Black America built its own economy under segregation, under discrimination, and under conditions most people today cannot imagine. We built businesses. We built banks. We bought land and property. In the Forgotten Blueprint, Damon K. Jones reveals how Black communities created thriving economic systems from 1800 to 1965, and why that blueprint still matters today. This book challenges the idea that our future depends on politics alone and shows how ownership, family, and enterprise once powered Black prosperity. The blueprint is not lost. We just stopped using it. The Forgotten Blueprint, how Black America built its own economy from 1800 to 1965. On sale now at Two Step Publishing and Amazon. Black Westchester Magazine has been giving our community a voice, reporting the stories others ignore, holding power accountable, and making sure the truth about our communities is told by us. But independent Black media only survives when the community supports it. If you believe in real journalism, community accountability, and keeping Black voices strong in local news, we need your help. Your donation helps us continue covering the stories that matter: politics, education, justice, and economic empowerment right here in Westchester. Support Black media, support Black truth, support Black Westchester Magazine. Donate today and help keep Black media alive. Because Black-owned independent media is Blacktastic. Black Westchester Magazine presents People Before Politics, the Sunday Rundown, every Sunday at 6 p.m. on YouTube. Join Damon K. Jones, A.J. Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as they break down the biggest stories in politics, culture, and community from a Black point of view. No spin, no party loyalty, just logic, accountability, and outcomes. If it impacts Black America, we're talking about it. Tap in, subscribe, set your reminder. This Sunday at 6 p.m. is going to be Blacktastic.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine, where life, culture, community, and faith meet truth, power, and purpose.